Good morning, CEO here, and today we're talking Sony. So grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be a fly on the wall at Sony Entertainment. I mean, seriously, just to be there when the execs all get together, the CEOs and all them big wigs and stuff, the people who drive the company, who show the company where to go and stuff. And we know the big main guy, the past several years or so, I think back until 2024 when he finally was no longer in control, was going with this live service, get PlayStation onto everything kind of thing, right? But at the same time, it's like, how many failures do you need to see happen as a company before you decide to stop doing what you're doing? Seriously. I just don't get it why these companies continue to do this. And Sony, of course, is no different than the others. I mean, we've had you saw, what was it, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, right? That one did not do over well. I mean, it sold okay, I guess. Not super. It missed expectations. It missed the mark, per se. As a live service, it was then shut down about a year or so after it was, released. But then we've got something like Concord. Oh my gosh, Concord. Sony was banking on Concord to be the thing. This was going to be the Sony branding. It was like when you say Microsoft or Xbox, the first thing you think of is Master Chief and Halo. They wanted Concord to be that level of recognition. So much so. And it was so apparent. Now, granted, they're probably never going to admit to that. But it was so apparent that Concord came out of nowhere. Everybody looked at it and said, what the is this? What is this discount Guardians of the Galaxy BS that you just threw in front of me? And then on top of all of that, right? So, lack of marketing and stuff for the most part until they were ready to show the world it. But they had a show scheduled, right? They had what was it, Ready or Press Start or whatever it is. Whatever that Amazon show was, it had a short story in that, right? It had an episode just devoted to Concord. They had special edition controllers ready to go, and I kind of wish I had gotten one, not gonna lie, just to say I have it, because then it could maybe be a collector's item at some point, and someone might pay me lots of money for it in 10 years. But aside from that, they were banking on this. They had merchandise. They were planning to send this to the moon. That's what their plan was, and it launched to an abysmal number of players. So much so that they canceled it in 2 weeks and scuttled the whole thing and probably want to act like they never had it to begin with, like it was never a concept. But you've got things like that, right? Concord and Redfall, Suicide Squad, what else has there been? You've got Marathon and the Search for the Floor at this point. You have all the live services that they've greenlit and then quashed before they even launched. Let's see, you had multiplayer God of War, a live service there they were going to do. You had a Last of Us multiplayer thing that they were working on as well, and that got crushed before it even went out the gate. It's just enough, Sony, to cancel a game before it actually launches. But then, you do something like this. So, what do we got here? We have Fair Games. Fair Games is a studio we actually kind of forgot about, right? Fair Games, or maybe that's the name of the game. Anyway, the point is, Fair Games is something that was shown to us last year. We all looked at it and said, oh, yay. Nobody wants this. Another one of those still the rich, give to the poor kind of bullshit stories full of diversity and all that other jazz that nobody really cared about. And no, so we kind of forgot that it existed, but it has come back. Here we go. Fair Games is not very fun to play, according to playtest reports. And that is not a good sign. It's like, if you, over here, you're designing this game, and nobody can have fun with it. The fun factor isn't there. something's fundamentally wrong with your game at that point. Like, the game probably should just be canceled at that point and restarted from the bottom up. But anyway, as it says, a little over a week after it was reported that Fair Games, the in-development live service shooter from Haven Studios, I'm sorry, the studio name is Haven, and being published by PlayStation, would be adding a dedicated game mode that has an extraction shooter element. It's now being reported that the mode and Fair Games as a whole has failed to gain traction with players. So much so that the title being called boring by those who engage with the title. Most recent playtests, codenamed Espresso, in a sweeping report from Inside Gamer's Tom Henderson, the current iteration of Fair Games is apparently very different than what was originally shown off during the PlayStation State of Play presentation back in 2023. Holy snap, it has been since 2023 since we saw this game. I know it was like the end of a year. I didn't realize it was the end of 2023 when we saw this game. But things don't end there, as Henderson went on to report that the screenshots of the title's Discord server featured massive amounts of negative feedback from players. Those players had heavy criticisms of Fair Games' movement, NPCs, class systems, among other elements. Those who have played the title told Inside Gaming that it's boring and incomplete, with players engaging with a few games and stopping or leaving mid-match altogether. Wow, it almost sounds like Highguard. That's the game I forgot and left out. Highguard, yeah, another one of those. Anyway, Never to Return. The title, which is yet to receive a public update, is struggling to find the fun factor. That is bad. Last week, Henderson reported that a new game mode for Fair Games would attempt to cash in on one increased popularity of extraction shooters titled Cargo Heist. It was described as an extraction shooter with an objective. And, yeah. So, they've decided to shift gears into this extraction shooter with their new game instead of what it was. That's where we're getting into, by the way, because they apparently saw things like, I don't know, what's that game right now that everybody has? Ark Survival or Ark something? Ark Survival. Wow. Ark Raiders. Wow. Boy, am I off. Completely off with that. Anyway, so people are looking at things like Ark Raiders, and they're just going, we can replicate that still, apparently. And they're trying to do that with Marathon, but Marathon, once again, is still searching for the floor with that game, and it is not. I'm waiting for the earnings call at this point, so Sony and Bungie can tell us that it missed expectations in however flowery language that they want to put it up there as to why they're still running the damn thing and didn't cancel it because it has the Bungie name on it. Aside from that, Fair Games is going to give us another extraction shooter, because that, I'm sure, is going to be the one that does it, right? That's going to be the one that does numbers. And on top of all of that, we have seen what happens when Sony does succeed, because we saw what they did with Helldivers. We saw exactly what Sony did when it came to Helldivers, because there they had an amazing game. It was a surprisingly what they were looking for. But yeah, we saw how Helldivers went, how it was going so well for Sony. So well for Sony. And then Sony was like, by the way, in order to continue playing Helldivers, the game you just bought like last month or so, now you need to you need to sign into the Sony network. And if you don't have a PSN, don't worry, we'll assist you in setting up a PSN so you can sign in and play your game. Just for what? So they can bump up their PSN numbers and make it look like they had a bunch of new signatures from this game that did an amazing job. And as a result, the entire player base just cratered after that. Like, it cratered hard and fast. And then on top of that, other issues I forgot what the other thing was that Sony had done after that, after, that resolved and people come back slightly and stuff, and then they decided to crater it again with some asinine thing that was going on. And it's just like, Sony, even if you did ever have a win, you would self-sabotage it because whoever's in charge is a fucking idiot. But anyway, that's all I've got to say. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.